Plane crash landed while landing just after 10:30 this morning.
Yeah, so this morning the Iredell County Sheriff has confirmed that multiple people are dead. Right now it is not clear how many people were on board or who was on board at the time. So that is information that we are working on at this time. And I believe a news conference is set to start any moment now.
Yeah, so I want to be very clear. Some of you know that I've done extensive reporting with the Biffle family on Biffle's charity work. I've called some sources and nobody has confirmed who was on that plane. So again, only the information we know so far is from the FAA saying that the Biffle family owns this particular aircraft. So I want to be clear about that. I think everybody is just waiting for answers. Nobody wants to speak preliminarily. You know, this family has made such a huge impact on this community. So everybody is hoping that nobody was hurt and we're just waiting for answers from this news conference right now.
As you said, it's very important that we confirm this information. I know that there's a lot of speculation and things that are spreading on social media right now, but until we get confirmation, we just know that this aircraft was owned by a NASCAR driver.
So the NASCAR community is very tight-knit. No doubt there will be everybody coming together to rally around whatever happened here and support anybody. The aviation community in this part of town is huge. We talked during Hurricane Helene about the role Statesville Airport played in getting supplies to and from Western North Carolina. Concord Regional Airport was big into that, but there was this big collaboration with civilian pilots, with NASCAR, to make sure that help was getting to Western North Carolina. So I just want to emphasize that in talking about the role of this particular airport as well. It's a very small airport, same with Concord. And so again, we're all just waiting for answers as this news conference is set to begin. And I don't want to say anything too soon. My contacts don't want to say anything too soon either. So we're all just praying that everybody is okay in this situation. Although unfortunately, as you said, the Iredell County Sheriff's Office confirmed that in whatever happened, there appear to be multiple people dead. This plane was an aircraft, a Cessna C-550. The FAA is on scene. There are going to be several procedural steps that need to happen, as there always are in plane crashes. Of course, ultimately, they're going to look for any pieces of evidence as to how this happened. They're going to look at the radios. They're going to look at black boxes. They're going to see what the weather conditions were in the area. Of course, pilots adhere to those conditions, and Statesville is not that far from here, so weather conditions, at least here at home, don't appear to be an issue right now, though we do know there is some rain today.
We do also know that these kind of investigations can take a very long time. This is not an overnight process. Meteorologists, our weather experts are saying that they're looking at the flight path to see how weather might have impacted this plane. The plane immediately turned around and tried to land, and it crashed while attempting to land back at the airport.
Yeah, it's unclear where the plane was coming from when it tried to land at Statesville. Of course, Statesville is, as I said, a small airport. It's a place where private pilots oftentimes land their planes and keep their planes in the surrounding hangars. So this is going to be obviously a massive investigation into whatever happened this morning just after 10 o'clock as this plane, a Cessna C-550, was trying to land.
You know, our thoughts and prayers are, go out there for anyone that might be impacted by this crash. As we said, there is no confirmation of how many people were on board or who was on board, but this is certainly a devastating situation.
I have not seen any post right now from NASCAR, from the Biffle family, or from friends. We know Cletus McFarland is a big friend of the Biffles. Garrett Mitchell is his real name. He's known by his YouTube personality. I've not seen him post anything either. It's, of course, very early, and people are still trying to get even confirmation about who was on board that plane.
So for anyone who is just joining us right now, multiple crews, they are on the scene of a plane crash at Statesville Regional Airport. This is just outside of Charlotte. Statesville Regional Airport has confirmed that an aircraft accident or incident at approximately 10:15 this morning. In a Facebook post, the airport said the Federal Aviation Administration is en route and will lead this investigation. And so we are learning and have confirmation from our sources that former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle that he owned this aircraft, but we do not have confirmation of who was on board or how many people.
All right, I'm just reading through some of our coverage. Our Charlotte sister station obviously is a team player in trying to figure out this information. Statesville is somewhat between our area, so we're working together, coordinating our crews and trying to find out any information we have. But at this point, it is so early. We are getting word, as you said, Lauren, that there is some kind of a news conference happening in just a few minutes, and we are standing by for that. But this situation happened around 10:20 this morning, again, as this plane was trying to land. We're hearing this news conference is getting started. Let's listen in.
My name is Ron Smith. I'm the city manager in Statesville. To my left is John Ferguson, our airport director. Jody Smyer, he's with Iredell County Emergency Management. Chief David Only, police chief, and Chief Glenn Curfey is our fire chief. So we don't have a lot to share this morning, as this is still an active event. But I just wanted to let you know that the city did respond to a crash here at the airport this morning at about 10:15. It's been a multi-agency response. We've had city, county, state, feds are here. So we have had, again, everybody is here on site at this point, and we anticipate that this is going to go on for quite some time. Since we don't have a lot of information to share today, and since this is evolving, either the city or other agencies will take the lead in putting out more information as the day goes on. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to John Ferguson, our airport director.
Thank you. Good morning. Like we said, approximately 10:15 a.m., we got a report of a corporate jet that crashed off the end of the runway on the east end. When actually I came out, it was already fully involved. We've had multiple agencies, as you said, come. The FAA arrived about 12 o'clock today. They're taking over the scene. They're taking over the investigation. We have no information on any cause. The airport now is closed until further notice. It'll take some time to get the debris off the runway to get it safe again. At this time, I'm also still don't have any other information than what we've already said. I'll turn this over to, go ahead, you do it.
Again, we'll provide updates as soon as we have them, either by us or other agencies. And if you have direct questions that you want answered, you can email those to me, and we will try to get these back to you as soon as possible. Again, my name is April Nesbitt. It's ANESBIT at statesvillenc.net. Thank you all.
No number of people on the plane right now? And did it happen during landing?
So for those of you who are just joining us, we just were listening to a very brief news conference addressing this plane crash at the Statesville airport. We do know that the plane involved in this crash is owned by NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, and not many new details were mentioned in this news conference.
Yeah, just that this crash happened at 10:15. The earlier timestamp we got was 10:20, so it is a bit earlier than we previously reported. There's a multi-agency response. Statesville Airport is closed. They are currently working to get the debris off the runway. News officials notably did not address any kind of speculation as far as who was on board. In fact, they did not even provide what the FAA has confirmed, which is that this tail number of this aircraft matches a plane owned by a company owned by former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle. As I said earlier, this is very difficult news, and we're all hoping that the rumor mill online is untrue. I just interviewed Greg Biffle back in September, and then again more recently with his charity work, the one-year anniversary of Hurricane Helene. He was such a pivotal person in literally taking duties upon himself to fly his private aircraft out to Western North Carolina to do rescues and to drop supplies. He rallied his friends in the area who were also civilian pilots to try to drop supplies and literally saved lives for 2 weeks working tirelessly. I have not heard from him today. I did speak with a friend of his who is closely tied in the aviation industry, but could not go on record with any kind of information about who was on board this aircraft and did not want to speculate. So I do not want to speculate either. Of course, I just wanted to provide some background because now you have heard and we've reported that this plane is connected to his company.
This is a very evolving story, as you heard from the officials in this news conference. They were saying that they're not giving any more information now, except for what we know that this call came in around 10:15. We do not know where the plane was coming from. They do say that the airport will be closed as they work to clean up the debris, and that multiple agencies responded to this call. The FAA has taken over this investigation, and it's going to take some time. They're going to be releasing out new information as the day unfolds, and that all any questions that anyone has can be directed towards city officials. But they did not give much more information than what we knew prior to the news conference.
Yeah, so the aviation community, as I mentioned moments ago, in the Statesville, Concord, Charlotte area in general, is very close-knit. A lot of the civilian and private pilots in the area know one another. They fly into and out of Statesville all the time. They fly into and out of Concord all the time. NASCAR has close ties to these airports and these pilots. Some NASCAR drivers are pilots, as Greg Biffle is, and as several of his friends are as well. So again, working to confirm this information. As we heard earlier, the Iredell County Sheriff's Office is saying that there are multiple deaths involved in this crash. So we are going to wrap up our coverage of this right now. Of course, we are asking all of these questions. We are going to take you back to your programming right now on CBS, and we will break in if there is any relevant information you need to know.
Yes, yeah.
Welcome back to WFMY News 2 at noon, streaming exclusively on WFMY Plus. It's now 12:40. I'm Megan Malaris.
And I'm Lauren Coleman. Lots of news to get into, but first let's get a check of the forecast with meteorologist Alex Williams.
Yeah, ladies, kind of a gloomy day across the Piedmont Triad as we've been dealing with off and on showers kind of through the day today. We're watching some warmer air kind of riding up over this dome of cold air that we have. And just the wedge, right, that we typically talk about. So that's providing some lift into gray skies there over Wendover and really across the entire area through the morning hours. So we are watching those temperatures, quite the stark difference. I mean, you can see here where the warmer air is back off to the south and to the east. Temperatures in the upper 50s there with the clouds, but then you get a little bit further to the west and now you're in the lower 40s. Kind of in between here in the upper 40s, but you can see a lot of places reporting some light rain showers and even some of this rain coming down pretty heavy at times. So you can see, say, from the Charlotte metro up through parts of the Triad, we are dealing with at least a little bit of that precipitation moving through. This is rain as temperatures are warm enough to support that, and we're not really looking at anything that would be other than rain, right, because of the warm temperatures. We're not talking wintry precip here. That's what I wanted to kind of highlight there. And even though it's not showing up, there are showers moving through the area and lots of cloud cover to talk about as well. So as this front continues to lift over the area, we'll see showers produced with that. With another cold front coming through, things then get very breezy as we head through the next several hours, especially through the overnight. As this cold front swings through, we'll then see some of that precip on the backside of it. But then again, really the big thing we're talking about is the wind. So we are going to definitely see the wind increase with those rain chances increasing by the late evening as well.
All right, let's get into our headlines this morning. This afternoon, a Thomasville woman faces charges almost a month after deputies say her dogs killed a man in his own front yard. In November, deputies responded to a home on Jeanette Drive and found 73-year-old Michael Bodenheimer. Officers believe 17 dogs were involved in the attack and they've been euthanized. Investigators arrested 56-year-old Elena Bryant and charged her with second-degree murder and 17 counts of animal cruelty. Investigators say the dogs were neglected and in bad shape. Bryant is being held on a $500,000 bond.
Coming up, the manhunt continues to find the person responsible for the deadly Brown University shooting. What the investigators are doing to track down the suspect next.
Let's get to the latest on the search for the gunman who killed 2 students at Brown University. Investigators have released new images of a second person. They say he is not a suspect, but they do want to talk to him. hoping it could lead them to the shooter. A former FBI agent told CBS News the shooter could still be in the area.
Investigators are expanding their search, now looking for this person who they say was in proximity with the man suspected of opening fire inside a Brown University classroom Saturday.
This person was in the vicinity where the subject of interest was, close enough that we feel that we need to speak with them.
Brown officials confirmed Wednesday there is no video of the shooter inside the building and said they've turned over all surveillance video.
Are you satisfied with the amount of video that's been released?
I think we're making good progress. Hopefully the public understands that the path that the person of interest has taken, at least as far as we know to date, has been exclusively in a residential neighborhood. And so the painstaking police work that it requires to gather that video means going door to door, talking to homeowners, asking to see their cameras, sitting with them for hours to sort through it.
The suspected gunman's path has been traced with video from residents and businesses, but police are now canvassing a larger part of the nearby neighborhood.
At some point, we're going to catch that break. And that break could mean someone getting in a car with a plate. That break could mean he taking his mask off. That break could mean maybe getting into an apartment. And it's that puzzle and that key evidence that will lead us to that person.
Does that mean that right now, given the footage that you have, it's pretty much impossible or very challenging to identify this person of interest?
It's challenging, but I got faith in the public. I got faith in in our community.
And despite this manhunt now entering its sixth day, a former FBI official says the shooter could still be in the area laying low to evade police. Meanwhile, the mayor told us there is no reason to believe that there is a threat to this community, given all of the stepped-up police patrols. Tom Anson, CBS News, Providence, Rhode Island.
Well, again, a gloomy day, on and off showers out across the Piedmont Triad expected today. We'll only continue to see that rain chance increase as we go through the late afternoon into your evening hours. 48 right now, that dew point at 44, so we're starting to bring it up. Feels like 48, not really a wind chill concerning there. But definitely some gray skies, some low ceilings out there as well. So we are expecting the rain to start to pick up really from now through the rest of the evening to the overnight. And we'll see that wet travel. We'll see the wind also start to pick up as well. So let's time this out for you on Futurecast. Notice here as we go through your evening commute, we are looking at those scattered showers moving through and temperatures on the very much mild side. Usually temperatures cool as we go through the overnight. In this case, temperatures are actually going to warm. Maybe not all the way up to the 60-degree mark, but still, I think at least into the mid-50s, if not upper 50s, as we're going through the evening hours. So our high may not be until much later on in the evening because of the warmer air. So we're basically entering into the warm part of this system. We call it the warm sector. And then you can see there's some heavy downpours through the overnight as the front comes through into the very early morning hours of our Friday. And then it's just really the wind that we're talking about. The wind machine is really going to crank up. So we'll see the atmosphere kind of pick up strength and wind speed as we start to erode some of this cooler air that's kind of keeping the atmosphere from what we call mixing or bringing some of those stronger wind gusts down to the surface. We're talking gusts possibly 25, 30 miles an hour, maybe even stronger locally as we go into our Friday morning and then through the afternoon as well. So that's really what we're looking at over the next 24 hours. Kind of going to be a mess. But then after that, look at our Saturday or Sunday, especially right around 60. And then looking ahead to Santa's big night. It looks like it's going to be pretty mild. No white Christmas for the Triad.
All right, well, during the holidays, many of us tend to get overwhelmed with gift buying, traveling, hosting, so many things to do that oftentimes we forget about taking care of ourselves. So here to show us some ways to make sure that we stay moving is fitness coordinator Heidi Day. Good morning.
Good morning, thank you.
You know, I'm someone who loves to stay active, but you know, during the holidays, sometimes we can't always get to the gym. How appropriate or what kind of goals should we have this time of year if we don't have access to equipment?
That's right. We want to stick to some healthy goals. We want to make great choices taking time for ourselves, and preparing. Always think about what can you do if you're traveling, where you're going. Always prepare and be mindful, and maybe bringing some appropriate props with you.
All right, I see you got some goodies here, a jump rope, some weights. Kind of walk us through some movements that we can do when we're out and about.
Absolutely. So whether we're traveling in a car or when you get to a hotel or a family's house, number one, we always want to stay hydrated. Bring that water bottle with you. It's always great to have. We have a set of hand weights, so you can carry these. They're a 2-pound weight. You can keep these in your car or go to the airport. They do fit in luggage. If that works for you, you can use them as walking. Great weight bearing exercise to get a little bit of upper body weight bearing. So when you're walking, you can do that. You can incorporate some marching and moving. So you're getting that extra intensity with those hand weights. Another great exercise is keeping these great resistance bands nearby. You can fold them in half if they're long. You can do those stretches for some more upper body, reaching up and inhaling and then exhaling. You could also use them for stretching in a chair and put the stretchy band around your legs. We also have seated loops, which are great to go around the legs and working those outer thighs. So this is another great, or you can use them in the upper body. And of course, if you're that athlete and you carry a jump rope with you, whether it's in your trunk or nearby, having this jump rope is always a great for cardiovascular exercise.
I actually have a jump rope in my car right now.
That's fantastic.
I haven't pulled it out in a while, but I guess that I need to. And these are items that you can pretty much get from any common retail store,
That's
right?
correct. You can get these props anywhere. This small equipment, you can get them at stores, and then even gifting. That is a great idea for keeping folks healthy through the holidays, giving a gift of fitness.
At the beginning of the segment, I was talking about this time of year can be quite stressful. There's so much to do. Why is it important that we stay active during those stressful times?
Staying active is so important. Number one, it keeps our body moving. We want to feel good so that we can feel good for others. But self-care, sometimes keeping active we might not need that. We might need to decompress, maybe finding a quiet room, doing some gentle yoga or meditation, some breathing. So some of us need that self-care of quiet, but keeping active, keeping that body moving is great for our friends and family.
And speaking of our friends and family, this is something we should all be doing no matter our age or gender, correct?
That is correct. During the holidays, we're going to be with all intergenerational, from the small children to the older adult, and all of this can be incorporated. And what way to have fun at the holidays. Get those little kids, get those active older adults involved, and make a new family tradition. Have fun with it and enjoy fitness and health.
So Heidi, before we head to the break, anything else that you'd like to add that you really want our viewers to be able to take home with them?
I want to just emphasize, keep moving. Do something for yourself each day when you're traveling. Prepare, find something that you can do to utilize to make yourself the best version for these holiday seasons.
All right, thank you so much. We'll have all of these moves and tips up on our website.
Thank you.
All right, so it is going to be a gloomy day. Now, the interesting thing is we're actually going to warm as we go through the rest of the day. So as we go towards the evening, you're actually going to have fairly mild conditions, and highs could be close to the upper 50s. Right now, we'll keep it in the mid 50s, and then kind of overnight, we stay there and then we fall throughout the day tomorrow as the cold front comes through. Now, the other thing you're going to notice is the wind. I think the wind's really going to significantly increase towards the afternoon, evening hours, especially overnight into our Friday and by the afternoon hours. But, ladies, we don't say into cooler weather. We'll actually see highs near 60 again by Sunday. And then looking ahead to St. Nick's big night, I think it's going to be pretty mild. He might have to break out, I don't know, the cutoffs. Does he have cutoff pants there and jacket to wear? Something on the lighter side at least, because it'll be very mild here in a triad.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. We are headed to the break, and we'll see you again at 4.